Hi guys, Doc Hepps here. So is more really better? Are you thinking that if you boost your testosterone, your sex life, your erections will just magically improve? Is that really right? Well, there's a little bit more to the story, so stay tuned. This video will give you some insight as to what testosterone can and can't do. Hey guys, Doc Hepps here. So the question is, if you boost your testosterone, your erections will automatically get better. Well, it's a bit more complicated. Testosterone can be a component that may help with erections, but it's not the panacea you might think it is. It's not the thing that's going to magically make you function perfectly. So in this video, we'll go over erectile dysfunction. We'll go over the testosterone and how it's layered in and what effects it can have on erections. And then I'll talk about a little bit about how I approach certain patients and to try and decipher out whether it's more of a pure ED problem or is there a hormonal or testosterone issue as well. And in men, testosterone is probably the most common component that can affect erection. Now, again, there's multiple issues, and more prominent among these are the vascular issue, which is a blood flow problem, which can be caused by medications, cardiovascular diseases, hardening of the arteries, elevated cholesterol, genetics, and the like. There's also other things like the neurologic input, and that can be affected by prior surgeries, spinal cord problems, or brain problems such as Parkinson's or stroke and the like. But importantly, there is a psychological that in many men who have perfectly normal testosterone, vascular, as well as neurologic function, if they have a bad episode for some reason, all they can do is think about it. And that can be a real game changer as well. So I want to go over two examples. In patient A, for example, he's a 60-year-old. He comes in complaining of erectile dysfunction. He's a bit overweight. He's a smoker. He has some hypertension and a history of cardiovascular problem, elevated cholesterol. He's on a number of medicines to control his hypertension, but he has difficulty attaining and maintaining an erection. So although he would benefit from an evaluation of his testosterone, it's highly unlikely that testosterone in and of itself is his main issue. More than likely, he's on some medicines that may negatively affect his erection, and then he has some lifestyle issues where he's overweight, maybe not exercising as much as he should. He has baseline elevated cholesterol, some blood pressure issues, and that all causes the so-called hardening of the arteries, diminished vascular flow. So his problem is more likely to be a vascular issue primarily than a hormonal or testosterone issue. Another factor that at least I use to try and better understand if testosterone is really excessively low would be if they have any interest. If their sex drive is still intact, then more than likely his testosterone is adequate. So in that gentleman, typically we try medicines such as Viagra, Levitra, or Cialis as a first line approach, but he may also benefit from assessment of his testosterone to make sure it's not excessively low. So contrast that to another gentleman who comes in. Let's say he's a little bit younger, he's 49 or so, fairly healthy, in decent shape, exercises fairly regularly, not on any medicines, and let's say his wife asked him to come in. He's a little bit reluctant. He states his erections are sort of lousy, they're not great, but he states he just really has no interest in activity. And maybe his partner or wife thought, is there something wrong with her? What's going on? and she brought him in and sort of forced him to come into the urologist. So this gentleman is more likely than not to have a lower testosterone. He has some erectile dysfunction as well, but he doesn't have all the risk factors for cardiovascular or vascular issues. In all likelihood, he has a low testosterone. His sex drive, libido is low. He has some excess fatigue, lethargy. Maybe his mood is off. And so if I had to guess, his testosterone would be relatively low, and he may benefit from testosterone supplementation more so than first-line erectile medicine. Nevertheless, you could argue that each example may need an evaluation, which would include a history and physical, an assessment of some blood work, including prostate level, PSA, as well as testosterone levels, and then that would help guide us. But as urologists, I use those two examples to help impress upon you how we are thinking where testosterone might fit in. So in summary, erectile dysfunction is not typically caused by testosterone alone. More commonly, it's a vascular issue due to decreased blood flow to the penis for other reasons. Some men do have a hormone issue as well, and we as urologists can usually decipher out who is more likely than not to have a low testosterone level and who may benefit from supplementation. So hopefully this gave you some guidance as to how we as urologists sort of visualize and use testosterone and see who might benefit. But the bottom line is testosterone is not the magic medicine that's going to make everything perfect. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.